our panel, we have three CFOs. ICR's had the pleasure to work with on IPOs before.
When I arrived, I had 20 people under me and 2 CPAs, which is not what you need to live life as a public company. And I think we really had to change the company's view on finance's role in the process. So I had to materially enhance and increase the skill sets on the team. So it's people, process, and systems. So I had to get a lot more of the right people. I had to put in all the right systems and checks and balances in place. I remember our CEO said at one point, he's like, yeah, we've been super efficient. I managed to avoid hiring a contract data entry specialist and a contract data checker. And I go, and that's why we are going public with 3 material weaknesses. So there's a lot of perceived inefficiency in finance, but really it's actually good governance. And then we had to put a lot of systems in place. We implemented Zora Financial to help us with automating our revenue recognition process. Now I can get revenue in 2 days, which is incredible when we're closing the books on a monthly basis.
They didn't bring me in to do an IPO. However, the following board meeting, May of 2014, the board decided we're going public. And Jeff, I want you to have the S1 filed in September. This was in May. So I had 4 months essentially to get ready for the IPO. We had to do 3 years of audit because we were using a firm, when EY came in, they weren't going to rely on the financials, so they had to go back and re-audit 3 years. So I started to have to think about what do I need in terms of readiness, in terms of be prepared. A bit of advice would be if you're thinking going public, that's why you're here, of course, make sure you have your internal control processes completely under control before you're up against that deadline.
And so we started that process pretty quickly, almost simultaneously with all the efforts of going public, to understand who some of the key hires would have to be, what some of the key processes would have to be as we went public. And then spent time looking outside of finance into the rest of the organization, going back to Isabel's point on key people, processes, systems, to see where weaknesses might crop up, what had to get fixed before we were public, what we could fix after we were public, and helping the organization understand the difference between casual sharing of information in a private setting and what could be MNPI shared at our sort of monthly all-hands meetings, and just getting the organization to think more about what it would be like to be in a public setting.